GM, friends. The maintenance has just finished. And this is going to be a live reaction where we actually get to see Lilium and Nelly, whatever her name is, the new SR unit. All their skills, their prowesses, the multipliers and everything. So this is going to be a live reaction. And we're going to go through it together. Okay? So without further ado, this is the very first time we are all going to see what Lilium and Nilu skills are. The multipliers, okay? We know roughly what they do because it was in their preview video. But let's go. Alright, let's look at Lilium. Yo, she's fast. She's fast. 125. That's only 2 speeds slower than Lily, which is, you know, the second fastest. Fastest being Kloss. That's good. She has decent attack. That's not bad. And she gets 20 crit here. That means her prowesses, if we look at this, it's going to be crit rate, crit damage, right? Yeah, crit rate, crit damage. That's good. And that means her S2 is going to give her 12 crit rate here. That's 20. GM. Live reaction on the actual Lilium showcase. Live reaction, by the way. So, guys, I'm on live right now, and if you guys want to check me on Abstract, make sure you click the link down below. Check me out there. But yeah, we're gonna look at this together. So, everyone's biggest thing is knowing the multiplier. So let's take a look at the S3 here. Okay. So we get speed in the S3. That's good. Crit rate here, like we said earlier, and attack. Cool. Let's look at the multipliers, alright? I'm excited. Alright, let's go. None can escape the lightning. Lilium gains 2 turn attack up and speed and do 500% damage to a single enemy, increasing the final damage by 50% on targets with more than 60% HP. Jesus. Oh my god. 500% chat. Holy fuck. This is insane. This hit ignore shield and will seal the target's max HP equal to 50% of the damage dealt. Okay. And it's a undispellable seal. It's a undispellable buff. Cannot be dispelled but has no effect on boss. Cool, at least they put that in there this time. Speed up, attack up, 500% damage to a single enemy. They didn't say how many times she's gonna hit. I assume this is a one hit 500%. If that's the case, that's okay. And an extra 50% damage, so 550% if she's going, you know, from on a full HP target. That's a lot of damage. They weren't kidding when they said a lot of damage. Holy fuck. Guys, holy shit. This is insane. Cool. I'm super stoked. So you can see her multipliers here goes from 460 to 500. So you need to max this out. And this is a 4-turn cooldown going down to a 3. That means she can also pair with Lily, and if Lily resets her, she instantly, you know, gets this back. So she can go S3 into S3 again, which is nuts. That's good. So I assume it starts at 400% or 450, I want to say. And then you get 460, and then you get 500. So you need to tofu this up. Okay? Normal. This is fine. Now let's look at the S2. Alright, time to get serious. Lilium deals 2 hits, so this is a 2-hitter of 180 damage. So this is 360 to a single enemy. For every 1% HP the target has lost, the final damage increases by 1%. Okay, so if they lost 30%, they get extra 30% damage. That's what it means. Okay. And I assume what it means here for every 1% HP the target has lost is based on this attack. So even if you hit into someone who's like a 60% HP and you take them down to, let's say, 30%, that's still a 30% damage increase, not a, you know, 60% damage increase. I assume that that's what it means. Guarantees to inflict 1 turn stun on the target with HP less than 70%. Okay? And a 1 turn stun on all enemies if you defeat the target. Cool. Increases HP trigger rate applying to 70%. So I assume that this would be like about 50%. So if you get them to half health, then you stun. But if you tofu this up, then the threshold becomes, a lot easier to hit. Cool. I think that this is pretty damn good. I think it's pretty damn good. Jesus. Yum, yum. This is good. I like it. Okay, cool. Increase the final damage boost to 1%. So I assume this is 0.6, 0.7 maybe? And then it goes to 1. Either way, this is still a pretty damn good thing. I wouldn't say it's overly power crap too. I wouldn't say. Because the fact that she has this skill now gives her the option to, either S2 or S3 first. And that means if you don't play immunity, you are going to get stunned. Right? That means you have to force an S3 first before she S2s. So at least there is a wraparound. But if you don't do that and you just go in, raw without any immunity, then she has the option to stun you. Guaranteed. This is almost guaranteed, I want to say. Because she's going to hit pretty damn hard. If she takes you, to 69% HP, let's say, you're going to get stunned regardless. And then that's kind of bad. That's kind of bad. Okay, and if you're going into a DPS, you're definitely taking them down below this threshold. So this is good. This is good. Okay, let's look at the S1. Lilium channels lightning and deal 260% damage to a single enemy and recovers HP equal to 60% of the damage dealt. So this is a single target, and you get 60% of that damage you do. Okay, it's basic lifesteal. Something almost similar to Lien, if I want to say so myself. Exclusive passion is called Flash. Lilium becomes immune to all control and turn meter minus effects. Now we still have to test this one out because we don't know if forgetfulness is considered a control. If it isn't, then we can turn this off completely, right? But if she is immune to forgetfulness as well, that means she is permanently immune to freeze, stun, sleep, except taunt. I don't think taunt is considered a control effect. It might be. Very well might be. We have to test all of that. But I know these three are guaranteed. So she's still weak to defense down, attack down, slow, what else is there? Dots, all the other debuffs. And most importantly, she's still susceptible to a Holden S2, which is a full reset on a character. So I don't think that this is, that broken. Wait, let me see. Flash also grants immunity to all turn meter minus. So you don't get the turn meter minus effect unless you fully tofu this up. Okay, so I assume that she is going to be a 5/5 here. And this one, I want to say she's a 5/5/5 unit. Okay, but there is an argument that you can stop at 3 just to get that threshold. And if you have enough damage, you should be able to, not need the assistance from this that soon. Okay? Ideally, you want to 5/5/5 all your units anyway. So that's what I would do. Besides that, she starts at 30% crit rate already, so getting an extra 70% on her is actually pretty easy. Whoopsie. So if we get it to, I think that you need to go 5/4/5. I think we go 5/4/5 for now, because I definitely want the 12 crit rate here to put a lot of crit rate. Okay, and this is how I am actually building her. And if you guys haven't watched the video with Vulcan, I already showed Vulcan what I was going to run on her, and we have similar mindsets on what we were going to do. So I'm using Lian right now as like the proxy. Okay, so you can see this is what I'm running on her. Okay, I'm running Bloodbath, Bulwark, and Swift Ray. Swift Ray is obvious because she's a DPS. You want attack over effect accuracy. You don't really have to build effect accuracy on the stun because it's a guaranteed stun, so there's no RNG there. But you can see I have about 3.4k attack, 81% crit rate, and that's also with the help of, my prowesses being full, which is basically the same as Lilium, just swap the belt. And that is giving me already 81% crit Add another 12 to that, that's 93%. So I'm still 7% short, but I can live with 7% at least, right? 81 is still too low. 240 crit rate, crit damage, that's okay. If I can find better pieces on any of them, I'll do that. 228 speed. Now, if we look at Lian, Lian is 116, right? And she's 125, so there's a 9 speed difference here. Okay, so that means that she is going to be 237. Lilium's going to be 237 here. And I think that this is how I will run her. And the reason being is that when you play Lilium, you're probably going to play her in like a bruiser draft anyway, with in the third pick protect. And if you're playing her there and you're fighting against Cleave, you don't want to just die straight away. And the immunity, where is she? Let's go back to her. And with immunity, that means you don't get fucked over by Holdens. You know, the S2 is annoying as shit. You don't get fucked over by defense down, like a Yelly, for example. And then she can just gun you down, you know, with follow-ups. At least this way, you can still soak some damage. So this is still something that I would run on her. I'm running Codex, right, as you saw. And that's because I want to have the option of, you know, having a perma uptime on attack. The attack up here, right? Because if the first time I slam the S3, I get 2 turns attack up, speed up. Then I can wrap around, go into my S2, and my S3 is still ready, right? Because this is a 3-turn cooldown, by the way. This is a 3-turn cooldown. Then I can go back into an S3, restack my attack up, speed up, right? Hit the S1 once, and I will still have attack up for the next wrap about for my S2. You see the flow here? And that way I will have attack up, speed up, and I'm definitely killing something, and I'm going to stun everything. So I think that my build is okay. It's not the biggest damage, but I'm not trying to play her omega damage, right? I'm trying to make her a bruiser. Because she has the multipliers for it, right? As we can see here, 500 fucking %, man. Jesus. I think she's going to do pretty damn well, okay? But we still have to test. Okay? We can see crit rate, crit damage here. We already seen this. But let's look at Nilu now. Nilu. Okay. Very high effect accuracy. Okay. Decent speed, I want to say. A bit on the slow side though. It's not 120, so it's a little bit slow. Let's look at her prowesses. Okay, you get effect accuracy, effect resistance because she's a supporter, normal. Let's look at the S3. S3 is where we get effect accuracy. Okay. Wait, whoops. Let's look here. 250 damage to all enemies with an 80% chance to apply vulnerable for 2 turns and a 3-turn speed up. On a 3-turn cooldown. This is not bad. But the fact that she's already giving, you know, all your allies 3-turn speed up tells me that you don't really need Jackal Guard in this sense to get yourself speed up. But this is not bad. Putting vulnerable means you take extra 30% damage. So this is she's like an enabler for cleave, I want to say. Let's look at the S2. Hits a single enemy 4 times, dealing 70% each time and healing the ally with the highest attack for 12%, while increasing their turn meter by 20%. So 4 hits, heal the ally by 12% of their max HP, and then push them 20%. So you get the flexibility of, you know, healing or, you know, speed up, basically. I think that's fine. That's fine. 4 hits, that's 280% damage. Okay, I don't think she's supposed to be an awfully big damage dealer anyway. And then this is where the speed is, as per usual. Sun banishes the darkness. Nilu deals 240%. To a single enemy and inflicts 2 turns vulnerable. Okay, this S1 is nothing special. This reads like a very typical SR. It's not overly broken, but very versatile kit. Because you can either choose to do this first, put vulnerable. If you make a Giga Fast, you can put this on people, or you tune them right after your strip. You strip, and then you put the vulnerable, you speed up everyone so that everyone can take a turn. And then you can cleave, and then if they try to retaliate, you can come back in and then do this. And heal the ally, and then punish them by pushing your DPS 20% faster so that they can go in and, smack you again. Or if, you are too slow, you can always start with this, right? You can always start with this, make your DPS do some damage. Like, for example, if you want to push a Messiah, then the Messiah can immediately get invincibility. Then you can do this, right? To put vulnerable, so that the S2 does more damage. That also works. I like it. Nilu doesn't read broken to me. I would definitely run her in some form of what would you call it? Either Swift Rush with Swift Smite and what is that one called? That piece called? What was it? Let's go back to the Matrix. The where is it? With Strife, there it is. So my mind blank for a second there. Strife. I would do something like that or Bulwark on her. Her shell would be any of the supportive shell, I think. Gigabyte, Alicorn, Lighthouse, all works on her. Right? You can even put what's that? Where is that unit there? The healing one. Supernova? I think it's Supernova. I think it's just to get a bit more healing out of her. But it doesn't really synergize, so I still think it's still either between Alicorn, Lighthouse, or Gigabyte for her. There is an argument to put Dark Moon because of the vulnerable. You could even run Halloween if you really wanted to, just really get the cooldown real low. Also could work. Now that I think about it, I think Time Weave also works on her as a 6-piece to get the extra effect accuracy, so you don't have to, what is that thing called? So you don't have to sacrifice too much of your tanky your tank stats. That works too. But that's the initial idea on how I want to build her. Look, she's an SR unit. I have way too many tofus on this, so I'm definitely gonna build her up. Try her out. I think she's a good addition to, a bit more aggro craft. That's my initial thoughts. But that's about it, guys. Hopefully you find, value in this content. And if you did, make sure you hit the like, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one.